to decide whether or not he's going to send counsel to the committee where you sit next Wednesday. What would you suggest to the president? What's the sense you're getting about whether or not he's going to send his lawyers up there?
I don't know. I would probably leave that to the great team they have in the White House counsel's office. I will say that we continue to see inequities in the process in the Judiciary Committee. We would like to call minority witnesses, and here's why, Ed. If we can prove that the president's questions about Hunter Biden, about Burisma, were legitimate, that they were well-founded in what our diplomatic corps and what other professionals believed, then it can't possibly be this, this shakedown that Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi are spewing to the American people. And so that's why getting that exculpatory evidence into the record is so important.
What witnesses are you going to have?
We've gotten no authorization to do it.
What witnesses?
Well, Hunter Biden would be probably one of our top witnesses. I think the whistleblower would be a witness. And I think that others who can expound on the testimony of George Kent that reflect on the concerns with Burisma and the ingrained corruption with that company.
George Kent certainly, as you say, testified under oath that in 2015 he told Vice President Biden's office, there's a conflict here, and they essentially blew it off. But I want to press you on something. You just said, I don't know, it's up to the White House whether or not they're going to bring up counsel. You and other Republicans have been saying for weeks the president's not getting due process because his counsel hasn't been there for the depositions in the basement, as you say. So why now are you not demanding that his counsel go up there, as you've been promising for so long? Do you want it?
Well, look, if I were in their shoes, that's probably the decision I would make. I am not entirely apprised as to the waivers that could potentially create within the White House counsel's office. But you know me, Ed, I like being on the field. I think we show up, we ask our questions, and even if the process is unfair, we have to show just the country what a terribly divisive and unproductive endeavor this is.
Last question on this New York Times story that Democrats are jumping on that says the president was briefed on the existence of the whistleblower's complaint before he released that aid. And their contention, as you know, and we're going to hear about this a lot on Wednesday at the Judiciary hearing, is that the president, after hearing about the complaint, knew he got caught, and that's why he released the aid to Ukraine. What say you?
Ed, if you're ever accused of holding a hostage for ransom and you're not doing it, it's always a good idea to probably release the alleged hostage. I mean, in this case, if the president was so incensed with the notion that someone would even make the accusation that there was conditionality here when there wasn't, it would only be the right and appropriate thing to do to show that there is no conditionality. There was never any sort of dirt for, arms narrative like the Democrats have laid out.
Congressman, we appreciate you previewing what the Republicans are going to be saying Wednesday at that big hearing, and have a great Thanksgiving with your family.
Thank you. You as well, Ed.
All right, let's bring in Ari Fleischer, as promised, former White House